with Life Pro, and today I'm sharing with you some of our new products, which I covered on a recent video with the new Allevared red light therapy series. But today we're going to have a little conversation here about how to use these remotes. We have all new remotes in our new Allevared red light therapy belt series. And the remotes can be just a little bit tricky. I struggled with trying to figure out the timing and the pattern to try and access the different features. I'm going to make sure that we share how to use each remote with the given features of each product specific to the remote. So this is a very specific video just on how to use the remotes associated with the Allevared red light therapy belts. The only remote that is different on this series is the Allevared Pro, which is the original set that we came out with about a year ago. It has to have an external battery pack, like one you would buy on Amazon, but Life Pro also makes one of these. So check out our website, check out Amazon for the Life Pro external battery pack. Otherwise, you can use whatever battery pack you might have at home. This plugs into that. So this is the only product in the Allevared red light therapy belt series that has this style of remote. All the other remotes actually are magnetized and pop right onto the belt itself, but they get a little tricky when it starts to, when you go to navigate through the different settings. And so today is just showing you a simplistic approach as to how to access all the amazing features of the Allevared series. Now, if you want to go back through and understand the differences between the different Allevared red light therapy belts products, make sure and go back and watch the video that I did last week, in which we covered, it was about an hour-long comparison of all these different products, how you can use them, the indications to use them, the different modes that you can set up. And so today, again, it's just to keep things simple as to how to use this handy-dandy remote so that you can get the best out of your product and without the least amount of confusion possible, put it that way. So when it comes to the Allevared Pro, this is the original one that came out last year. The Velcro, but the way that this works is the battery pack actually stashes right inside this little pouch on the front of the belt. You don't have to worry about with the other Allevared therapy belt products because it just magnetizes like I showed you earlier. This, if you're not wanting to use it plugging in directly with the wall, so we're going to plug that in there to the C port, and now we've got the product is on. Now, the remote. This remote is very, very simple. This is the most simplistic remote that we have of all of them. And I'm going to go ahead and power this off and start over. So belt is off. When it comes to the remote, again, very, very simple as to how it works. So I'm going to leave it just as it is so you can see all the features popping up. But this is the remote up close in person. So we push this button right here. That's what turns it on. When we turn it on, we get all the lights, not only the red light, but we also get the near infrared light. So we're going to get 660 nanometers, 850 nanometers all together. Just remember, if you see some of these light chips that don't appear to show any kind of light, infrared light is kind of invisible to the human eye. So they are working. It just, you can't see them. So when we push our different buttons here, so this is our timing button, and we can increase 5 minutes at a time. And it'll take you all the way from 5 to 30. So you can do this for 30 minutes, and you can do it 2 or 3 times a day in order to get the greatest output that you want. When we push the middle button, this is our vibration setting. So we have different levels of vibration, and you can hear it. You can hear it working in the background. 5 different levels of vibration, and all you got to do is just push that button each and every time. If you're turning it off, and let's say you're on vibration like S3, you're going to need to make sure and go all the way through. So you can't just, turn it off with the click of one button. You have to go all the way through. So 5, and then right after 5, it'll say S, or it looks like 50 or S0. That is going to be your off button. When we go over here to this little button, it has little arrows in formation of a circle. This is the mode in which the light that you're choosing. So right now, everything is all red light therapy. And then now all infrared light therapy. That's why you can't see it, but it's on. And then when we have all, you click it again. So this is your mode button. Which type of light therapy are you wanting to use? Are you wanting to use the red, the infrared, or all of it? And then from here, we push this up, this plus minus button. That is your intensity levels, okay? Intensity level up as we go all the way through. And once we get to level 4, then we click it one more time, and it drops back down to 0, which means it's at its lowest level, 5 levels for this one. Okay, and so you just go through and pick whichever one you want. Let's say that you want to just do red light therapy, no infrared, and it works exactly the same way. We just increase the intensity based on that button. And let's say we want a little vibration, getting a lot of vibration. And let's say we're going to add some time. So you can add the time. You don't have to go back and forth and kind of reset. Everything can be accessed right there between those 5 little buttons. And then power off. That actually gives you the flashing effect. So if we're wanting to have a party with ourselves and we're wanting to get the flashing or the pulsing effect, that's what does it. And then one more time turns it off. So on, flashing, off. Okay, that's as simple as it gets with that remote. So that is our Allevared Pro. All right, and again, you have to have the external battery pack to use this one wirelessly. Otherwise, you have to have a plug-in into the wall. So there's that. Now, let's compare. This is the exact same belt, Allevared Pro Elite. Okay, Elite means it's really about the same belt, except it actually has the external battery pack. Here's the other secret. This does not have vibration. So you only have to worry about light intensity and whether you're flashing, okay? So 3 different light modes, meaning red, infrared, and both, okay? We've got 4 different intensity levels. So L1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we've got our pulsing effects. So I'm gonna flip this over so you can see it in action. This magnetizes to this. And actually, scratch that. Can't turn that over because the only way this works is if it's in contact with the belt, okay? And you can see how there's a plus and minus there. There's also a plus and minus that correlates here. So plus and minus have to go. And if you had your belt on, when you took this off, then this will go right back to where it was when you had it turned on. So let's go through the modes here real quick. Let's go through how to use this battery. All of these control panel batteries really work about the same. It's just the different belts have different features. So I'm going to cover some of that here very, very quickly so that you don't get confused. But in order to turn this on, we have to press and hold. But wait a second. It doesn't make this work unless we are actually in contact. So when it turns on, it's set up for 28 minutes. When we go to push the power button here, that means you're getting all lights. If you press it twice, red light, press it again, that's near infrared light. Push it again, and then we get A. So that's going through the different light modes, okay? So I'm going to show you how that works so that you can see it with action. So there's lights are on. Let's go ahead and power off here. Shows that it's 100%. So it's charged at 100%, okay? We're going to go ahead and push and hold. We're going to click it on, and it's going to set us up right away for where it left off. Because with these actually have a memory of the last time it was used. So I had it set up for 28 minutes instead of 30. This is why it says 28 minutes. If we push it again, you're going to get all lights. Push it again, you're going to get our red light only, no infrared. We push it again, you're going to get near infrared, no red light. We push it again, and we're going to get all, okay? So this button right here tells you which mode that you're choosing, and it's also going to power on and power off. When it gets a little tricky is when we choose this one that has the little arrows, okay? So we push that button, and we're going through the different levels. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we go right back to 1. Once you see it go back to time, now we push it again. Now we have the option. So this is our flashing, our F button. F0 means flashing is off. We have 2 different intensities of flashing. So if I push that, it goes back to, so once you click the time, it's going to go back to intensity. So you have to go time, and then it's going to show you the flashing. Okay, so we're back to time. I'm going to click it again, and it'll say level, right? So we're going to pause, go back to time. Now we're going to go flashing. We're going to go flashing 1 and flashing 2. So you got to activate it right away. And when it does click back to time, okay, there it clicks back to time. If you try and go back to the F feature to turn that back off, you're back to L. So that's where this gets a little tricky, right? So that's why I'm here, to kind of hold your hand and lead you through it, because I got frustrated the first time that I worked with this, and it took a lot of playing and practicing around. So I'm taking the practice out of it for you. But you know what? Minimal, Life Pro, innovative, 2 buttons. What can go wrong, right? So we're going to push that button again. It's taking us through our flashing, okay? So if we don't want flashing, then we turn it off. When it goes back to time, now we can choose our level of intensity. So there's our levels of intensity. And let's say that you want level 4, but we only want all of our lights. or I'm sorry, just our red light. So we can click that. We can go back here and we're right back to level. But I think I like to have all. So let's go back to all. And let's go back to here and push. Now we're talking flash. So let's, and see, I tried to click it again so I could get flash 1 and flash 2. You have to wait for the time to click back off. Click it again, and there's your flash. So that's it. When it comes to adding time, okay, you're going to press and hold this button. Whoop. Yeah, you're going to press and hold this button. Wait for it to go back to time. You're going to press and hold it, okay? This is when it gets a little tricky. Press and hold it for a while, and then when the time starts to blink, then you can add time to it. Again, you got to press and hold for a while. And it's taking a really long time, or I'm not pushing the button hard enough. But you can add time to it. When it starts to flash, and it should, I might have pushed the wrong button. No, let's try this again. This is where it got tricky on me last time. Yeah, it's not letting me add time. I'm having a error moment, an operator's error. So we turn it on, and we're at 28 minutes. If we push and hold, the time will eventually blink, and when it blinks, every time you click the button, it will add time to it, okay? So there's that one. That is our Allevared Light Therapy Pro Elite, and I'm going to turn it off. So you're going to press and hold, which turns it back off. We still have 98% battery left. So there's that button, or that whole belt with the remote. Now, we have the smaller version of that, which is the Mini, okay? The Mini also has 4 levels of light intensity, 3 different modes of light. So our infrared, our infrared, our red light, and both combined. And so all of that happens on what appears to be the exact same battery pack. And again, it clicks right there on the outside. So you're going to see the plus and minuses. That just clicks on like that. There you go. This is a great little piece compared to the other one. It has extra attachment straps so that you can wrap it around. But this is great if you're just wanting to travel in the car, but you don't want the excessive bulk of the belt wrapping around you. Maybe you're wanting to put it on the shoulder. A lot of different ways you can do it. But the remote stays the same. So we're going to push the power button, and it'll click on. 22 minutes is what I had set on this last time, and it is on, so you can see it's on, okay? So we had 22 minutes on here. When I go to push the button again, we're going to get all, we're going to get just red light, and then we're going to get just infrared. So that's near infrared, which is 850 nanometers. If I go to click it again, it goes right back to all. So 3 different things to worry about with that button. To turn it on and turn it off. Once you turn it on, turn it off, now you can search through the different modes, okay? Searching through the different modes. So let's go ahead and leave all on, because we all like to have as much as we can get out of these, right? With this Mini, we've got 120 of these LED triple light intensity strips, okay? We also have a pulsed feature on this as well. 2 different levels, 10 hertz and 40 hertz, which means 10 flashes per second, 40 flashes per second. It can't even comprehend it. So when we go back to our battery pack here, remember it has to be intact or it doesn't work. So if you're trying to operate it and it's not completely intact, this will light up when it's actually intact. So again, we're going to push this button right here, which is our little double arrow button. That's going to give us our levels of intensity. And whoops, I spoke too fast. So we're going to let it go back to time. We're going to let it go back to time. When it goes back to our time, which is 21 minutes, if I push it, now we're talking level 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Now here's the secret. You have to be quick with choosing which level of intensity, because if you sit and think about it, it goes right on into the flashing feature. So what I mean by that, if I push, and I'm like, so there's the flashing feature. So, but wait. Oh, now we're back to level, right? So it can get a little tricky, but if you get lost, just let it go back to time. When it goes back to time, it kind of resets. And then you can push the button. Now we're flashing, having us a little party, right? And you just arrow through that until you decide every time you push the button, it'll give you a different level. So there's our no level, 1 and 2. So there's 0 flashing, 10 hertz, and 40 hertz. Let it go back to time. And then we should be able to click right on into levels. But you can't think too long about it. You got to jump right in, because you're like, Level 4 might be a little too hard. Oh, wait, no, I don't want flashing, so let it go back to time. And then there we go. So we're gonna go back to a level 3. So hopefully that makes some sense. With this one, this does not have vibration. And when it comes to time, let's see if I can figure this out on this one, because this is a different remote. So if I push and hold, it should flash when it allows me to add time. So hang on, wait for it. Oh, nope, that was not what I had in mind. See how tricky that can be a little bit? But hey, it's a great product. It is worth the battery pack. Okay, so let's turn that little guy off. Let's go back to time. So that's our cue. When it goes back to the time, now we can start to play with some of the features. We're gonna press and hold. We're gonna press and hold until it blinks. When it starts blinking, and again, you kind of have to hold it down for several seconds. It feels like an eternity, or should. I've been running into this. Hang on here, wait for it. Okay, that didn't work. Hang on, I know I have figured out the time before. We're gonna press and hold the power button. Nope, that doesn't wanna work. I'm gonna pull this one up. I thought I had this one figured out. It's pulling me a trick. So let's figure out how to add time, take away time, because I wanna make sure that you guys know how to do this. Okay, so you have to quickly set the double click of the intensity mode. Okay, this is where this gets tricky. Okay, it's gotta be a quick double click. So we're gonna press and hold. See, little clicks go a long way. So we're gonna press and quick. Well, that's what it said to do. So let's go back to time. There we go, 2 clicks. So as soon as you go through the level of intensity, when it goes back to time, you're gonna click this button twice, okay? When you see it blinking, you can add time to it. It quit blinking, so it doesn't work now. So we're gonna go back into, so there's the flashing feature, let it go back to time, click it twice. Well, this is not working. It is working. It's a user error, I promise. We're gonna let it go back to time. We're gonna try this one more time. Nope, that's a party. So if I'm having troubles, it's okay if you're having troubles. I guess that's the point. That's why we wanted to have this special video. Okay, so let's try this one more time. There we go. There it works. Okay, so from there, now we can add time. Now, if you're wanting it to end at 30, when you get to 29, you're gonna press and hold 30, and then it should stop flickering. And when it stops flickering, there you go. Now we got 30 minutes. So every time you go to plug this in to recharge and plug it back on, turn it back on. So if we turn it off, okay, we're gonna turn it off. You're gonna see that there's 97% battery left. When I go to turn it on, you're gonna see 30 light up. So whatever time you set it for the last session, it will click back on, and that's what it default sets itself to. So it remembers a lot of your favorite settings. So let's go through that time increment again, because that's a little tricky. And I know some of you are gonna be very frustrated with this, but I'm telling you, the battery packs, the challenges are worth 2 very simple buttons. It's just the timing and the sequencing. And some of you are not as fast and furious with your fingertips when it comes to tapping those little buttons. I'm there, but you just have to be a little aggressive in order to get through. But the most important thing, when you can't get to where you want to go, just remember that when it goes back to resetting itself to the time feature, then we can click here, and there's our level, okay? So level, now we're into flashing. So once it goes back to time, that's kind of the reset button, okay? In which you can go through different features. So there's our level, okay? And we found our level, so we're gonna let it go back to time. Now we can go back into flashing if we really want to do flashing. And then if we go back to our levels, or back to our time, when we press and hold, there's the time. See, we got it figured out together. So that's how you do the time, okay? Because I messed that up on the other belt, I'm gonna grab it because I'm all about making sure I get this stuff right. I don't like to fail very easily, and I don't like to give up. So we're gonna go back through that one more time with the other belt, just so I can prove to you that it actually works. But there is our red light therapy belt. Again, this one is really kind of nice because you can tuck it in your shirt, you can tuck it in your pants. You just want to make sure it's in direct contact with the skin. So this is the mini. That is our mini. Now let's go back here really quick because I want to make sure and clarify this. So let's turn it on just like we did here a second ago. Okay, now double click. Yes, we got it. So again, it can be a little tricky. And then again, once you double click, there we go. Now we can add time. So there's our 30. And then it actually, you might not have to hold it. It actually might be kicked back off. Let's see. It clicks back off. You don't have to hold it. So there you go. It's easier than we think. We just had to work through the kinks. So thanks for being patient with me because it has been one of those moments where I just could not figure it out, read the directions, playing around with it. I'm like, the time is the reset. So if you get back to the time feature and you're wanting to try something else, okay, we got all the levels, but I really want that flashing feature. You have to wait for it to go back to time. And then the flashing feature pops up. So that's how that works. So power off. And when we turn this back on, it should come right back up to 30. So that's telling us how much time or how much percentage battery we have left. We turn it on, 30. It works. Awesome. So now we got one more to cover. And this one's the most important one to cover. Why? Because it has an extra feature. It has vibration feature. So we're going to throw in a whole nother curveball here. Vibration is recognized as an S. S1, S2, and S0 means vibration is off. Our light intensity is L, and our flashing is F. Okay, flashing is a party. So the micro has vibration, light intensity, 3 modes. So we have infrared, red light, and both combined, and all with this little bitty baby battery pack right there that coordinates with the plus and the minus. Plus and the minus, you can see the plus and the minus there at the top. Goes right on there. Turn it on. Bingo. Now we're talking, okay? So 30 minutes is what we've got this set up as. Again, if we press the power on off button, that's what searches through the modes of light. So right now we've got all on, okay? All, you can see it. And then if I click it twice, now we just have red. If we click it twice and then a third time, now we have in, little baby in, which is near infrared, which is 850 nanometers. That like packs a punch really deep into the body. Anti-aging central, awesome stuff. Super fast healing, makes us look younger. So when we press and hold, I'm sorry, not press and hold. If we press and hold, it actually turns it off, okay? So press and hold, got 100% battery, turn back on, should click on to 30 minutes. Hey, let's try this. Let's see about changing the time. So we're gonna double click this. Yay, and it's blinking. That means it's working. Okay, so if we wanna add and just do 5 minutes, because 30 minutes, we don't have time for 30 minutes, right? So 5 minutes, it should stop blinking. That means it's set. Now we're good to go. It automatically starts docking time. So don't delay if you are wanting to get that 5 minutes worth of time in. Now, when we press this little button here with the arrows, press it once, there's our L, okay? Level 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go back to time. And we got 5 minutes left. So we're gonna press it twice, which gives us our flashing effect. Okay, so there's flashing 1, 2, and 0, which means none. Let it go back to time, hands off, boom. Now we're into vibration, okay? 1 and 2. Whoop, see, I didn't click it fast enough. So it went right on into level. So if I push it a couple of times, it goes right on into the flashing. So you have to wait for it to go back to the time. And now we're back into our different levels of intensity. There's 2. So S1, S2, and none. So I'm going to leave it on. So there's S2, and yes, I can feel that in my palms. We go back to time. We push it again. Now we're into levels. Go back to time. Now we're into flashing. Go back to time. Let's say I go back to, and let's click on it twice. So yeah, so you have to, each interval or each feature, if you will, you have to let it go back to the time, okay? So we click on it again. This is giving us our levels, okay? Hands off, let it go back to time. Click again, hands off. We don't want flashing, we want vibration. So we push it again, there's the vibration. Yay! So it works. Oh, wait. Low battery, pretending like it's a low battery, we're gonna plug it in. So how do we do that? We're gonna take this, and it comes with the external battery, basically it's an outlet charger. So you're going to plug it into your wall, USB to C. Okay, so it's a C port. So plug it in there, and we plug this into the wall, or we can plug that potentially into this, and your external battery pack will actually charge this as well. So if you're wanting to, you don't have access to an outlet, but you have an external pack, then you can do that, but this will not operate it. So like it does the other one. So that's how that works. So what I know what's in your mind. If I buy 2 or 3 of these, can I interchange the battery packs with each other? Well, let's try that, because I think they're universal, as with a lot of other Life Pro products that we play around with. So let's play a little switcheroo time. Because remember, this is the only one that has vibration, okay? So let's switch it with our mini going on, okay? And it clicks on. So let's turn it off and let's see what happens. I've not tried this yet. This is a moment that we all get to experience together. So we're gonna add time, because 5 minutes just doesn't cut it. So we're gonna, each time that you tap, it'll add time, or if you press and hold, yeah, it doesn't add any extra time. So you have to push the button every minute that you want to add. And then hands off, it'll quit blinking. Now we've got time added, life is good. There we go. Now, let's turn it off. Okay, 99% battery. And again, this is the mini. This does not have vibration feature, but this is the pack off of the micro, which does have vibration. So let's see what happens. I'm curious. So we're gonna press and hold. Okay, you guys know by now I like to play around with stuff. So if I press and hold, there's your red, your near, and your all. We're all in, okay? We're gonna press our levels of intensity. Okay, so that's giving us our 4 levels. Okay, let's wait for it. Go back to time, not pressing. Now we're gonna press again. Our flashing effect, yes, it does work. Hands off, go back to time. No vibration. So can you use these intermittently? Yes, it does work for this, but if you want vibration and you're wanting vibration on your micro, which is accessible with this, you have to make sure and have the micro remote, because the mini remote does not have that vibration feature built into it that I'm aware of. Let's go back here and play, but I'm pretty sure this is exclusively just for light and flashing. Yep. So make sure if you have multiple products, take a labeler or take a white Sharpie or piece of tape and write which product goes with which remote, because it does matter. If you happen to have your remote for your micro and you're using it on the mini and you're not needing vibration, then it will still work, as you have witnessed. We're going to turn this off. But if you're wanting vibration, if you're wanting vibration and you're going to have to make sure that you have the micro remote that goes for the vibration. So we're going to push. There's our light intensity. We're going to wait to go back to the minutes. We're going to push again. There's your flashing. We're going to push one more time, and there is your vibration. So vibration, don't know if you can hear it or not, but it sounds like a buzzing bee. It is vibrating. And why is this really cool? Well, because if you're in the car and you got a really sore back and you got a long commute, you can stick this right inside your back britches, directly in contact with your skin, and battery pack is intact and it is not in the way, okay? And you can experience the red light therapy without all this extra stuff. Now, if you want to use the extra belt in order to make sure it stays in place, or maybe you don't need it that low and you need it more off to the side, you got rib issues, you can affix this here to the outside. Velcro is a happy thing until it's not a happy thing, right? So we're gonna, or if you got stubborn belly fat you're trying to minimize, you just tuck it in underneath your shirt there, wrap it on around, because red light therapy is really good for stubborn belly fat, and it stays in place. Stays in place. We are now melting fat. It's all good. Okay. So again, we power off. And that, my dear friends with Life Pro, is how you use the Allevared Light Therapy Series remotes. Again, can be a little tricky, but definitely works if you can figure out the little kinks. Hopefully this video takes you through and gives you some simplicity with your mind. But remember, the most important one that we challenged ourselves with is the time intervals. So if we push and hold, let's go through that one more time. So we're gonna make sure it turns on. Oh, you have to make sure that the magnets are intact. So pressing and holding in order to turn it on. Now it's on, okay? Remember, we're gonna double tap. Boom, whoop, hold up here. Wait for it. Boom, boom. Double tap is a quick. Okay, so we're gonna leave it alone. I'm going to do this one more time. Okay. Wait for it. 1, 2. Oh, it didn't work that time. Now we're going out of the flash and bang effect. Okay. Hang on a second. There's your vibration. We have to wait for it to go back through vibration, and then it'll go back to time, and then we should be able to double tap. There it is. So it still works. Okay. You can add time, push the button, and now we've got 30 minutes. So I hope that wasn't too complicated for you, but I'm telling you, the products are worth it. The convenience is worth it. Battery pack will last quite a while. Just have to charge it from time to time with a C port. You can use that whether it's in your car, an external charger, in your office setting, wherever you need to. But we try and keep everything as consistent as possible. The remotes are interchangeable as long as you're not using the vibration. So make sure if you have a micro and a mini, or a micro and a red light elite, the Pro Elite, that you have the right remote for the right product. Make sure you label them. And if you have questions, feel free to post in our VIP Facebook group if you have any questions. If you're getting great results, if you want to share with us your routine, I'll just tell you that I have done great things with our red light therapy stuff, and the Alleva products are just amazing. So there is our remote tutorial about all of our Allevared products. And if you are interested in learning the details between each one of these products, click on to our next video, in which you can learn about each one of these products individually and how they can benefit your life. So thanks for watching, and I wish you the best day.